remember the day my heart shattered like glass. I was standing on the rooftop of a high-rise in Manhattan, the skyline glimmering like a promise, when he got down on one knee and proposed in front of our closest friends. It was supposed to be the happiest moment of my life. I could feel the warmth of the setting sun on my skin, the laughter of my friends echoing around us. But all I could hear was the frantic beating of my heart. "Will you marry me?" he asked, a sparkle in his eyes that mirrored the city lights. I should have said yes right then and there, but the words stuck in my throat like a stubborn lump. I hesitated, and in that instant, everything changed. His smile faltered, and the air thickened with tension. The next few days felt like a cruel twist of fate. I wrestled with my feelings, torn between the life I thought I wanted and the whispers of ambition that had always echoed in the back of my mind. I had climbed the corporate ladder as a senior bank executive, my ambition driving me to excel in a world that often tried to keep women like me in the shadows. I had fought tooth and nail for every promotion and recognition. Yet here I was, faced with a choice that felt like surrender. I loved him, but the thought of sacrificing my hard-earned independence felt unbearable. I had worked too hard to let someone else define my happiness. Just when I thought I had made up my mind, he called off the wedding. The words cut deeper than any knife, slicing through the remnants of what we had built together. "I cannot be with someone who does not wholeheartedly embrace this life with me," he said, his voice steady but filled with an unmistakable pain. I felt like I was losing part of myself, and yet there was a whisper of relief, an affirmation that I was still in control of my own destiny. As the days turned into weeks, I focused on my work, burying myself in numbers and balance sheets. But the ghost of what could have been lingered. I poured my heart into my projects, determined to prove that I was more than just a woman scorned. If he believed I could not have both love and career, then I would show him what true success looks like. I started to gain traction at work, impressing clients and colleagues alike with my innovative ideas and strategic thinking. My ambition was a fire that propelled me forward, but even as I excelled, I could not shake the feeling of betrayal. All I wanted was to love and be loved, yet I felt like I was fighting a battle on two fronts, one against my own heart and the other against the expectations of society. If you love Helena's journey, like and subscribe to join her next chapter. As months passed, I learned to embrace my singlehood, rediscovering parts of myself I had long neglected. I filled my life with friends who understood my journey. I traveled to places I had only dreamed of, danced in the rain, and indulged in the freedom of being unapologetically me. The more I experienced, the more I realized just how powerful my independence truly was. I transformed my pain into strength, building an empire of my own within the financial world. I became a force to be reckoned with. A name that commanded respect in boardrooms filled with men who doubted my abilities. With every success, I shed the remnants of my past relationship, gathering the pieces of my heart and redefining what love meant to me. Then came the unexpected twist. One evening, after a particularly long day at the office, I received an email that made my heart race. It was from him. He wanted to meet. I felt a mix of dread and anticipation as I agreed. When we met, I saw the man who once held my heart, but this time he was a stranger. "I have missed you," he said, his voice trembling slightly. I searched his face for sincerity, but all I found was a hint of regret. "I realized I pushed you away because I was afraid." The vulnerability in his eyes caught me off guard. "I thought I could live without you, but I can't," he admitted. I felt the familiar pang of longing rush through me, but I quickly remembered the strength I had built in his absence. "You took a part of me when you called off the wedding," I replied, my voice steady. "But I have grown, and I refuse to lose who I have become for someone who couldn't see my worth." The weight of my words hung in the air between us, and for the first time, he truly understood. He had underestimated me before, but now he was at my mercy. I could see the realization dawning on him as I laid bare the truth of my journey. "I want to support you," he said, but I saw through the facade. It was not love. It was desperation. "You don't get to come back into my life just because you are feeling lost," I replied firmly. The tables had turned, and now I was the one holding the power. I walked away from that meeting, my heart a mixture of relief and closure. I had finally found my voice, and it was louder than my pain. I had built a life fueled by ambition, and I would not allow anyone to take that away from me again. As I stood on my rooftop one last time, gazing out at the city that had been both my battleground and my sanctuary, I knew my story was far from over. I had tasted the bitterness of betrayal, but I had also discovered the sweetness of freedom. I had learned that love is not about compromise, but about finding someone who complements your journey, not someone who tries to redefine it. The skyline shimmered brightly before me, a reflection of the strength I now possessed. I was no longer defined by my past mistakes, but rather by my relentless pursuit of greatness. My heart was open to love again, but this time it had to be on my terms. I held my head high, ready to embrace whatever came next, because I was Helena Montez, and I was unstoppable. If you enjoyed my journey, please like and subscribe to stay connected. Your support means the world to me as I continue to carve my own path.